welcome to What's Your Story. Thank you for joining us today. You can see that I am not in the studio today, and that's because it is raining. I mean, pouring down rain in Las Vegas, Nevada, if you can believe that. And it's way on the other side of town to the studio, and I didn't trust all those people out there with all the road construction and the rain. So John very conveniently made it happen to where I can talk to you from home, and I love it. We have a special guest today. I'm really, really thrilled to have her on the show because I have been on some of her summits and she's treated me so incredible. So it's really nice to have her as my guest. Her name is B. Marie Annig, the Holistic Success Guide. And she is a beacon of inspiration and transformation. And as an international best-selling author, renowned speaker, energy master healer, and edutainer, she masterfully blends neuroscience with woo-woo. I love that. Neuroscience with woo-woo. That just kind of goes, well, we're going to find out what she's really all about. And B. Marie hosts the podcast 52 Weeks of Flow, exploring peak performance and life enhancement. And as the creatrix of the Superwoman Syndrome, I say that every time. I'm so sorry, B. Marie. I always say Superwoman Syndrome. It's the Superwoman Symposium. I have the Superwoman Syndrome, I think. So she is the creatrix of the Superwoman Symposium. She is empowering women and champions collaborators, and her clients call her a magic wand for your life and your business. And she definitely is. Welcome, B. Marie. How fun to have you on my show. Do you like how I just keep calling it a syndrome instead of a symposium? Sorry.
Oh my God, I love that so much because so many people say that. And yes, thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. And
well, it's great to have you here. I was on your Superwoman Symposium, and I had such an incredible time. And you're just amazing how organized you are and how you just make everything happen and how you know all this technical stuff. You're just a brilliant woman. So it's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have 2 kids, so I need to be organized.
How old are they?
My little one is 2 and the older one is 7.
Oh my goodness, they're small, right?
Yes,
so
they
how
are.
do you combine neuroscience and spirituality in your holistic success coaching and still be a mom?
Ah, yes, I love that. So the thing about science and woo-woo is that it's not so far apart. It's basically the other side of a coin, but it's the same coin. We're talking about the same things. Neuroscience is about our brain, how our brain functions, how our hormones function, how our nervous systems function. So it's basically about how the body functions. And the woo-woo, the spirituality, is about how our soul, our spirit functions in this physical body. So it's basically 2 things that we need to combine, that we bring together. And how I do that with having kids and being a mom, sometimes that's really, really, really hard because my spiritual self says, ooh, patience, forgiveness, grace, let my kids be my teachers, kind of. And at the same time, my brain goes, yes, but this is how it's supposed to be. And when they are doing this, then this is happening in your brain and this is going down and boom. And so sometimes that really goes against each other in myself, but actually it doesn't.
It does, but it doesn't. I like that. Yeah, that's fascinating. So what is the core message that you share as an author and a speaker? And what impact has that message had on us and on the world and on the people who hear you speak?
For me, it's all about, I know this term is being used a lot, empowerment, but for me, it is more the empowerment to awaken. We have been guided for more than 2,000 years in a certain way. And The thing about being guided is you 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 forget to think. You forget to, follow your own path. You forget to follow your own heart. So it is a lot about awakening to your true self. And this is my core message. If it's in business or if it's in your personal life, when you run a business, when you have, a multi-million-dollar business, yes, of course, there are certain rules and there are certain regulations, and you have to play by a certain playbook. But at the same time, it's always, what are your values? Is your business, is your job, does that align with your values? Does that align with who you truly are? Are you a life-sucking vampire? Or are you a nurturing soul who wants the best for their employees, for their clients, for whatever? And yeah, of course, there are people who just look at the money, who just want a certain thing, who just want success on no matter what cost. And that is their path. I'm not judging here. But it is important to know where you are, what your goal is. So what you empower yourself to be. And that's why I call it the great awakening for me.
It's kind of a great awakening for all of us after we hear you speak. So, can you share or will you share a memorable moment or topic from your podcast, 52 Weeks of Flow?
Yes. Yes. So on my podcast, I talk about peak performance states. I talk a lot about science. I talk about the stuff behind the things, the backstage of our brain, the backstage of our hormones, the backstage of certain states. But I also talk about energy. And I had a wonderful listener who, after he listened to an episode, was like, "Whoa, I did not know that there is an energy flow in my body."
What?
And I thought that was really amazing. We work with our bodies, we live in our bodies every day, but we don't think about it anymore. So I actually asked him a couple of questions, and the next episode then I did was about how we unconsciously take our bodies for granted and all the functions that our bodies are doing on a subconscious regular basis. And that was for me this big aha moment that a lot of people are not aware of what is going on inside of them. We are so aware of what's going on around us. We have this war, we have this crisis, we have this one is cheating on this one with this one. And we're so aware of all of this. But with all that noise outside, we're not really paying attention to what's going on inside, even if it's our body functions. So that was a really, really amazing moment for me to be. I love being in contact with clients, with listeners, with my audience, and really interact with them. And that was just a beautiful way of, giving back the trust that they're putting in me.
Mm-hmm. Now, how can we become more aware of what's going on inside of us? Would it be meditation or journaling, or what would it be for us to figure out what's happening with me? Because sometimes when we're caught up in emotion of things, we don't even stop to think about what's going on in there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that question. And you just actually said it, to stop. When we're caught up in a situation and emotions, we need to stop. We need to stop with everything that we're doing at that moment and really bring our attention inside, kind of like step back, be like, okay, stop, wait a second. Ooh, what's happening here? Okay, I'm getting chills. I'm getting really tingly. Okay, what is this? How is this going in my body? And then start to name it, instead of saying, ooh, I'm just so mad. No, what is happening? Do you get sweaty palms? let's go to the root of things. And then for some people, it is meditation to sit in quiet every day or every other day. Yes. But for some people, meditation is really, really hard. So I always say, whatever works for you to come in a state of communication with yourself. Some people start talking in their heads with themselves when they go running. That's also a form of meditation because you're doing a repeated action over and over and over so that your brain doesn't have to think about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So turning off your brain, we cannot really turn off our brains, but this is to do something where you get in contact with yourself. For some people, it is going in the woods. For some people, it is taking a bath, go swimming, being surrounded by the elements like, water, earth, fire, wind. And for some people, it is dancing, action, being in a really active state yes, just be in a really active state. And then being able to drop into what is truly happening. So I can just recommend to everybody to find something that brings them in contact with themselves in a form of communication. And yes, that might sound a little bit schizophrenic, when you think about, oh, well, should I really talk to myself? Should I have those, voices? You talk to yourself anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time you talk to yourself in a bad way. Oh my God, that was so dumb. Why did I do that? So how about getting in a conversation with yourself that is actually productive and actually nurturing yourself? So it took me a while to really get into that conversation with myself because I was a little bit afraid of what I would say to myself. But it has become a really beautiful ritual, to really step back. And my husband and my kids, they already know that sometimes I will just say, okay, stop for a second. Stop for a second. This is not going in the right direction. For me, this is so, and then I just take a couple of deep breaths. And since I've been doing this for a while, it just takes me a couple of deep breaths to realign with myself and then say, okay, this was out of a feeling of low self-esteem, or came from a feeling of blah, blah, blah. This was not directed to you. This was on me. Yes. So becoming aware.
Takes a lot for a person to become that aware and to take responsibility like that.
Yes. And it freaking hurts. It's not comfortable.
So what does your role as an energy master healer involve?
So as an energy master healer, I use the energy field I work with the energy field of an individual. That means you can also say I work with their aura, I work with their chakra systems, and I help them clear, balance, and realign and enhance the flow of energy in their body. What I also help them with is to expand this balanced energy field so that when they go out in the world, they become basically the beacon of balance and the beacon of whatever feeling they want to transport into the world. So when they elevate the people around them. And I just love supporting people get into this state to be in this emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being balance where they can just really come from a place of, yes, inner alignment, just being completely aligned with whatever they believe in at the top, and also with Mother Earth, and to contribute to a positive surrounding. Because when you elevate, when you change your energy, the energy around you changes. It's really funny when you have kids right now, like everybody who's listening to me right now or seeing us right now, if you have kids and you are in a state of, oh my God, everything is going to right now, instead of going down that rabbit hole and being annoyed, frustrated, angry, take a couple of deep breaths and remember why you wanted to have kids. Remember the first moment that you saw your kid, the baby that you held in your arms. And, or also every morning, when you wake up and you see their beautiful little face. And when you have this feeling in mind and then look at the catastrophe that is happening around you, the catastrophe does not look that bad anymore, and it will calm down because you have calmed down, because you have moved into a state of bliss. And this is what we do with energy healing, with energy clearing, with energy balancing. When we help, or I help people to really get into this self-discovery mode where they at some point also feel when their energy is not aligned anymore. And this is the most beautiful part, when clients come to me and say, oh, you know what? Today I was completely out. Like my energy was all over the place, but then I took a couple of deep breaths and then I did this thing that you taught me, and I really felt that everything just came together and was like shook, and I was back. And yeah, and those are the brilliant moments when I can really see my clients start to shine, because this is what we all are here for. We are all here to shine our most beautiful light, because we all have this light in us. We all have that fire in us that needs to transcend to the outside, that needs to be seen. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert, if you're shy, if you're whatever label you have put onto you. When you are balanced, aligned, awakened, you will shine. And the right people will see you. The right people feel attracted to you. They will come to you. And it's just this beautiful symbiosis. Is that the right word?
Symbiosis?
The beautiful symbiosis of everything coming together at the right time and the right place.
And how does your role as an energy master healer, how does that impact global well-being?
Yes. Well, that is one of my goals, to really impact on a global level. And we do that by elevating one person at a time, because like I explained, when one person elevates, they elevate the people around them. And when they are elevated in the presence of that person, it's this subconscious thing of, oh, I want what she has, like in Harry and Sally, the movie.
Yes.
It's this thing, oh, I want what she has, like she is like, or what he has. And subconsciously, you're starting to align to that frequency. And so then the other person goes home maybe, and then their spouse or their kids are like, oh, wow, what happened to mommy? What happened to my girlfriend? What happened to, my boyfriend? What happened there? This is really nice. And so it's like this ripple effect. If there's this beautiful quote, I have no idea who said that. So please, whoever knows it, tell me. You need to be the change in the world that you want to see in the world. So if you want the world to change, you need to start with yourself. And most of the time, this is just a frequency shift away. When we are so indulged, or when we are so outside of ourselves all the time,
Mhm.
then it's really, really hard to stay in your own frequency and to actually have an awareness of the frequency you're in. When you're always watching drama, when you're always watching death, even in movies, your frequency drops. A lot of people who just watch love movies all day long and believe in love at first sight and believe in all that, their frequency is really high because they're vibing in a like really close to the love frequency. So it is really important to make sure of what you put in your body in all ways. If it's food, if it's information, if it's what you see, if it's what you hear, you need to be aware of what you're taking in. Because the more amazing things you consume, the more you raise your frequency. And the more you raise your frequency, you raise the frequency of the planet. And this is the ultimate goal.
That's a good goal. It's a really good goal.
Yes, and you are playing a big part in this, Judy. Have such an amazing show where you bring on such amazing guests that inspire the world. So
I do have amazing guests. Thank you. And you're one of those. So, answer me this. What are your future plans for the Superwoman Symposium and its intended impact on women globally?
yeah, oh, so the Superwoman Symposium sprung from an idea that I had. I wanted I wanted for women a place where they could just up level every part of their lives. If it's financially, if it's for the business, if it's for parenting, if it's for, where they could just go and they get all the information that they need. And so I have this variety of speakers. We had 30 speakers. You were one of them, Judy, and your talk was just incredible.
Thank
And
you.
and people were just really amazed by the diversity of speakers.
Mhm, mhm.
And so for the future, this is what I want. I want to expand it also from a virtual stage to an actual stage. I want this to be a huge empowering event for women to come together, to collaborate, not just the speakers, but also the audience. I want to create more workshops around it. And 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2022, when I created the Superwoman Symposium, everybody told me you cannot name it Superwoman. Superwoman is Superwoman is doing it all by herself. She knows it all, and da. And for me, a superwoman was always a woman that does not have it figured out. Nobody has it all figured out, but she puts all of her superpowers into use to create a better world, to support other people. And she also knows when to ask for help. Why do we have all those collaborating superhero movies like the Justice League or Avengers? Superheroes know when to ask for help, even if it's, hurting their ego a little bit, but they do it. And so the message for the Superwoman Symposium is to come together, to collaborate, to elevate this planet, and it's a place for learning, empowerment, and community building, because nothing is more powerful than when women come together. When women come together, hold hands, and walk together. So this is, I would just love to have like a Superwoman Symposium in every country of the world. Like that would be just amazing, when every woman would tap into her superpower, in her personal superpower, and just become this living, breathing superhero that we're supposed to be. And I'm gonna call it superhero or superwoman or super. I'm gonna use the word super as until every person on this planet has realized how magnificent and unique they are. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm going on and on about this, but it takes more than 4 billion incidences that we are here. If one little particle in this long history would have been different, we would not be here. So it is a miracle that we are here. We are miracles in the way that we are here created. So if that's not, magical or super or whatever you want to call it, then I don't know what is.
I don't either. I don't either. It's interesting because I didn't hear the term superpowers until about a year or so ago. Someone asked me what my superpower was, and I really had to stop and think about it because I hadn't heard that term before. But we all have superpowers. We all have some things that we do exceedingly well. And that's good to be able to recognize that it is a superpower and that we are super women. And I like it myself. I'm just not going to get one of those little suits with the cape. That wouldn't go with my body shape now that I'm old. But I love the thought of being able to take control of my own life and to make it be what I want it to be. When I grew up, women weren't treated that way. And I love it that the younger women today are really thinking about what they can do to make the world better. And that's wonderful. Tell me what part of the world you're in. You have this exciting, wonderful accent.
Thank you so much. I am in Berlin, Germany.
You live in Berlin, Germany. Now, did you grow up there?
I was born in Germany, yes, but I have lived in the States for quite a while, and I also lived in England for quite a while. So I am a global citizen, I would say.
Yes, I would say so too. And you've written for my magazine, Choices.
Yes.
And
yes.
We're very excited about having you write some more articles because your articles are very, very good. And you are going to be speaking in the Women Thrive Conference, March 18th to 23rd. What are you speaking about there?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So my talk is called The Missing Link to Success, Trusting Your Superpowers to Realize Your Magic. And I truly believe that we can be, like every one of us can and will succeed in their life, in their business, wherever they want to, if we are really trusting our superpowers. When we discover it, trust it, because then we can create magic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you the missing link, though. For that, you have to come to the Women Thrive Summit.
Well, I can't wait to hear you speak. I am just excited about the conference, and I've just set all those days aside where I can just be available to hear everybody speak. I want to hear every single speech because having worked with all of you this last year, it's just been a phenomenal experience to get to know you. And then you put me on that summit and the symposium that I think is a syndrome for some reason. But I mean, it's just been wonderful. And so I want to be there. I want to hear every single one of the speakers. And I know that our audience is going to want to be there too, because we have free tickets. We also have upgraded paid tickets where they get all kinds of goodie bags and wonderful things. And so I think we better start looking at tickets sometime soon because there's only so many spaces and then they cut it off. So I think you better go get your ticket sometime soon because you don't want to miss this. It's going to be great. It's going to have people like B that are speaking, B. Marie, and it's just going to be fabulous. So what is one thing you want my audience to know about you or about what you do, or that a thought you'd like to leave them with?
So I would like to leave you with a quote from Albert Einstein. And he said, "You cannot change the problem with a mind that created it." And every time you feel stuck in a way, when you feel you don't know how to move on, this is the time to move through it. Because on the other side of stuckness, on the other side of I don't know, that's where the magic is. That is where your elevation, your awakening is. Because when you circle there and say, "Oh, I don't know," I just go back. You stay in that same mind space, and you will not change the problem. You will always come back to that space until you push through it. And I have to push this. I don't know what the right term for this is, but a friend of mine, Lauren Buckner, she said, push means persist until something happens.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Right? And since I've known that, I'm just, all right, let's either just stay here and sit with this problem or really push through. Because, like the buffalo is the only animal in the animal world who knows when a storm comes, I need to run towards the storm. All the other animals run away. They hide, they run away, and they're scared to death because of the storm. But the buffalo knows when I run towards the storm, I'm out faster. I don't have to hide. I don't have to run. I don't have to die trying. I'm just going to push through and I'm out on the other side and everything is beautiful. So either
I didn't know that about buffalo.
Right? I love buffaloes. Somebody told me that and I'm like, whoa, yes. I'm going to be more like a buffalo. When a storm presents itself, head on through because on the other side it's going to be green and it's just a short time span compared to the time that you run away.
Wow, what a great thought. Oh, I love it. I love it. Just push on through. Run right into it and take care of it. You know, the sooner we take care of things, the sooner it's over with. And then we don't have to sit around and think about it and mope on it and contemplate it forever. You know, it's just better to do it. I love that piece of advice. Wow, you're so brilliant. It's nice. It's great to have you on the show. But it's come to that time where I have to say goodbye. So thank you so much. Would you tell my audience how they can contact you if they would like to?
Yes, of course. You can reach me at www.superwoman.coach. That's my website. Or you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And there, my alias is at moving_river.
I want to hear that story someday, how you picked that one.
I'm going to tell you about it next time.
Okay, we'll have you back on so we can find out. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed B. Marie as much as I do. I think she's just dynamite. I love her energy. I love all the things she has to say. And I love how she admits that she actually mixes neuroscience with woo-woo. She's a wonderful person to be around and to have on as a guest. And thank you for being here. And I hope that you'll come back again very soon as we have many more wonderful guests from around the world.